Miss Kristi here, and I am so excited to be together again cooking in the kitchen. Today we are learning how to make cheesy rice cups. This snack or small meal uses just 4 ingredients plus a little salt. We pop it into our air fryer for only 10 minutes and we will end up with 4 cheesy rice cups. We're gonna have fun making this together today, and I'm so glad you're here. Now, the first step to cooking and working in the kitchen is to wash our hands. While I wash my hands with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds, let's go over the ingredients and supplies that you'll need to gather to cook along today. The ingredients you'll need are 1 cup of cooked or microwave-ready rice, half a cup of shredded cheese, 1 egg, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt and garlic powder. The supplies you'll need are a mixing bowl, 4 silicone muffin cups, 1 cup dry measuring cup, 1/4 cup dry measuring cup, 1/4 teaspoon, and a spoon. Okay, great. Your hands are clean and my hands are clean. We've gathered our ingredients and supplies, so let's get started making our cheesy rice cups. This is just a great small meal or snack, and you can use it if you have leftover cooked rice. So let's get started. The first thing you're gonna want to do is grab your mixing bowl and place that right in front of you. We're gonna mix everything in here, pop it in our baking cups, and then we cook it in our air fryer. So you will need an air fryer today for this recipe. It is cooked in our air fryer, so you definitely need to have that on hand. Put the mixing bowl right in front of you, and then you're going to grab your cooked rice and your 1 cup dry measuring cup. So I've got my 1 cup dry measuring cup. It's the largest one that we're using like this today. And then I'm going to grab my cooked rice. So a couple things, if you have leftover rice, this is a great recipe to try, or you can buy microwave ready rice at the store. So it comes in a little pouch. All you do is rip off the top and you would measure out a cup. So you have 2 choices, whether you have leftover rice or you buy the kind at the store that you can just pop in the microwave. So I'm going to now measure out 1 cup of cooked rice and put it right into our mixing bowl. My hands are clean, which is why we wash them. All right, so you want like a big, good cup of rice and put it right into your mixing bowl. And then you can put any leftover rice you have aside. If you did buy microwave ready rice and you don't use the whole container or the whole pouch, you can always put the rest in a container with a lid, pop it in your refrigerator, and then make this recipe again or use it for something else. You can put your 1 cup to the side. We are done with that. And now we're going to add the garlic powder and salt. So I'm going to grab my 1/4 teaspoon, it says 1/4 TSP, and my garlic powder. And I'm just going to scoop in 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder and sprinkle it over my white rice. And you can put your garlic powder to the side. And then I'm going to grab my salt, still using the same 1/4 teaspoon, and we are going to measure in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Same thing, right over top. You can put your salt to the side. It already smells really good because of the garlic powder. You can also then put this to the side. We are done using your 1/4 teaspoon. And now you can just grab the spoon that we had in our supply list. And I'm just gonna give this a quick mix to distribute the salt and the garlic powder. Mix it around a little bit. And now I also wanna just put a little hole in the middle of my rice because I'm going to crack the egg and scramble it a little bit before we start mixing it with the rice. So I just made a little circle in the middle with my spoon, push the rice around. Keep this near you, we're gonna use that in a second. Now grab your egg and we're gonna crack this right in here. If you don't feel comfortable that you're not gonna get shells in it, you can definitely crack it into another cup or maybe a liquid measuring cup and then pour it in. But if you feel comfortable, you're just going to crack it on the side, so give it a little tap, gently pull it apart and crack it right into the middle of our rice. We're obviously done with the shell, you can put that in the garbage. Now, if you did get a shell in there, go ahead and pick it out. You have clean fingers and then wash your hands again. But if not, if we cracked it successfully, you can grab your spoon, same one that we used before, and I'm just gonna give this yolk a little mix. I want to scramble it a bit before I start mixing it into my rice. So once it's scrambled in the middle, you can then just use your spoon to mix this egg in your rice together. This is what holds it together once we bake it in our air fryer. That egg is going to be kind of like glue. It's going to keep our little rice cups together, and it gives you some protein as well, which I love. And it won't end up tasting like egg, I promise. It's going to taste like cheese and rice and garlic powder, so it's actually a quick little fun recipe to try. All right, so now that I have my egg and my rice mixed together, we need to add the cheese. So grab your 1/4 cup dry measuring cup. It's the one that says 1/4, and your shredded cheese. Now we're actually gonna do 2 of these because we need a 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. I just knew I was gonna use this to measure out into our baking cup, so I didn't wanna dirty another one, so we can just use 2 because 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1/2 cup, and we need 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. I'm just gonna push my spoon to the side here and measure out a 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. So here's 1/4. Pop that in, and then do one more, which will most likely be all of this cheese. Yep. So do 1/4 and 1/4, so 2 of these. I'm gonna push the rest of this in here. Or a 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. Now, if you make this again and you want it a little bit more cheesy, go ahead and add a little bit more cheese. That is the joy of cooking for yourself in the kitchen, because you can add and change things along the way once you've tried it. So put any leftover cheese you have to the side. Keep this next to you because we're gonna use this to measure into our baking cups. But now I'm just going to stir this cheese around into our rice and egg mixture. I don't want any big clumps because I want all of my 4 cups to have cheese in them. So I'm gonna mix this around the best you can. That cheese isn't melted yet, so it's gonna stay separated, but once we pop it in our air fryer, it's gonna start to melt. The tops get a little bit golden brown and crunchy. We've tried this a few times at our house, and it's really good. It's a fun, quick snack. All right, I'm tapping off my spoon. So I want all of that ingredients to go into my muffin cups. All right, now what we need to do is grab your silicone baking cups. So these do need to be silicone. They need to be able to go into the air fryer. So if you use paper cups, first of all, they'd get really soggy from our wet mixture. So if you've got silicone baking cups is what we need to use today. I'm just going to set them right in front of me. I'm gonna take my spoon out, set it to the side. We might need that, we might not. Depends if we can get all of our rice scooped out with this. So again, grab your 1/4 cup measuring cup, and we're gonna measure 1/4 a cup into each of our baking cups. That's all we need to put in there. So all I'm doing is scooping this out, dragging it up against the side a little bit to level it out, so we know we have about 1/4 a cup, and then pop it in. And then I'm actually just gonna take the back and push it down just a little bit. That way they get this nice crunchy top when we pop them in the air fryer. So I'm just gonna do that 3 more times. Scoop out my mixture. Pop it in a baking cup. Press it down a little bit. And then do it again. So we had 1 cup of rice. So if we divide that into 4, we should have 4 1/4 cups to work with. So that's 3. And then this last one is where you might need your spoon again. You wanna try to get all of that rice the best you can. Oh, I was able to do it with the measuring cup, perfect. So last one, in it goes. I'm gonna take my spoon a little bit actually and get the rest of this out because I want all of it to get baked in the air fryer. As much as you can. All right. From here, you can put your mixing bowl, your spoon, your 1/4 cup measuring cup all to the side. Now all we need to do is cook this. So what I'm going to do is pull out my air fryer basket and just place them inside carefully because you don't want them to spill out. The silicone is nice too because it holds its shape more than a paper one would. So now that I have these set in here, all I'm going to do is pop it in my air fryer. I'm going to plug my air fryer in now. And these just need to cook for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. So you're gonna turn your air fryer on to 400 degrees. set a 10-minute timer, and then we're gonna take them out and let them cool. So let's get them cooking. Once that air fryer turns off, we will talk about getting them out safely and letting them cool. All right, friends, this is exciting. The 10-minute timer just went off, so what I'm going to do is stop my air fryer and unplug it since we are done using that now. And all I'm going to do is carefully take out the basket and set it on a protected surface. So I can put mine on my cutting board. You might need to put yours on a pot holder to protect your counter, but now we just need to let this cool for 3 minutes. We need that air fryer basket to cool down before we try to take them out. So all I'm doing is putting them on my cutting board to cool for 3 minutes, and then we'll talk about getting them out safely and giving them a try. Okay friends, so we just let these cool for 3 minutes, and now all I'm going to do is carefully take them out. So your air fryer basket might be a little bit warm, but I'm not even gonna touch that. All I'm going to do is reach in carefully and pull each one of them out, not touching the side. If you feel like you need an oven mitt and you have one that you can wear and still take them out, definitely do that if you feel a little bit more comfortable, but all I'm doing is carefully taking them out, not touching my air fryer basket. I'm going to pop this back in there to keep cooling down. But here we have it, our cheesy rice cups. How simple was that? And you can see that the tops get a little bit crunchy and a little bit brown. Because we use the silicone baking cup, we can just pop them right out and put them on a plate and enjoy them. But we only used those 4 ingredients and a little salt, popped in our air fryer for 10 minutes, and now we have this great, maybe small meal or snack that we have learned to make for ourselves. So I do hope you try to make them or try and make them again, and when you do, let me know how it goes. Leave me a comment, let me know if you have any questions. You can even send me a picture of how your cheesy rice cups turned out. I would love to get to see your creation, and maybe we can share it next week. Now, speaking of next week, on next week's episode, which is episode 78, we are learning how to make peanut butter banana overnight oats. This great breakfast uses just 5 ingredients, plus a couple for the topping. It's no bake, we just pop it into our refrigerator for at least 2 hours or overnight, and we end up with a healthy, tasty, and quick breakfast for ourselves. In order to cook along and make our peanut butter banana overnight oats, these are the ingredients that you'll need to have in your kitchen for next week. 1/2 cup of rolled oats, 1/2 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of vanilla Greek yogurt, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and for the toppings, we'll use 1/2 a banana, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, and 1 tablespoon of chocolate chips, which is optional. Well friends, our time together today is almost over. I do hope you've enjoyed learning how to make our cheesy rice cups. I know I had fun, and I already can't wait to cook together again next time. But before you say goodbye to this episode, make sure to click subscribe if you haven't already. You just have to click the little picture of me in the corner. That way you don't miss next week's episode. It'll be out on Friday, and I'll see you then. Bye friends, it's time to eat.